Dylan Jacobs of Sandburg at 50. 13:57.7.
Hi everybody, it's Mike Newman. It's Monday morning finish line. It's October 2nd. We're getting closer. How many? It's like 33 days until the state meet. We have a month to go, and things got a little bit hotter, as you saw at the beginning here of the show. I want to talk a little bit about that race, and we'll talk about a few other things that happened in Illinois. Peoria was basically the main thing, but Niles Wester got a little bit hot there too. And I also want to talk a little bit about Naperville Twilight this Wednesday. Yay! It's going to be great. So Dylan Jacobs, 13:57.7. I said in the preview, I think he's going under 14:10. So when he goes out in 2:08, he looked good. He goes past in 4:30, zooms by me. He looked good. He comes by at 2 miles. I'm looking at my watch. I'm like, holy, 9:10. And he went by me. And I started walking back, and there were a few fans back where my ladder is by the finish line. I'm like, he's going under 14. And it's tough. That last mile is tough because, you know, if you haven't run it that while before, going around the course 3 times, that third time up that 4-degree incline, it's only 4 degrees, it feels like a lot more when you're going up on that final time. But he ran 13:57 at number 5 time all time. So you have Gravy Train and Derek and Verzbickus. No, you don't have Gravy. Oh, geez. You have Virgin first. Sorry. Then you have Derek. Then you have Verzbickus. Then you have the Gravy Train. And then you have Dylan Jacobs. So you have 5 runners. Kilray with its 14:02 gets pushed back to number 12, or tied for 11th all time. What can we say about that? The thing about this, oh boy, my mind is going all over the place. I'm driving home yesterday afternoon, and I wish I had my little tape player thing out, or turned on my phone and recorded some notes, because there was just stuff flying all over my head. So, in the last month, we've had Danny Kilray run 14:02. We've had Dylan on Saturday run 13:57. So that leads us to the talk 13:50.6. Is that breakable? Well, the course is in great shape right now. Too dry maybe. But let's look at all the instances. You had Chris Derrick had to do it by himself. You had Verzbickus, who had Jack Driggs pushing him for the first mile and a half, 2 miles. But that last mile he was on his own. Maybe more, last half of the race he was on his own. And you had Graves, who ran 13:56, and he pushed the pace. I was at that race. He pushed the pace early on. I think he went out in about 4:30. I have to look at my notes from that. I was only a sophomore. And but Jim Spivey came on him in that last mile, and Graves held on for dear life to cross the line at 13:56, 14 minutes. So I'm thinking, you have the perfect situation here where you have 2 studs, Kilray and Jacobs, 13:50. I mean, that could go under 14 minutes. I'm not, boy, it could if the conditions are great. Now watch, we're gonna have this great thing happening on November 4th, state meet, and it's gonna probably be snowing, or it's gonna be a blizzard where it's raining sideways or snowing sideways or something like that, with the way that our extreme weather has been this fall. or it may be nice, and that could be fun. I don't know who would win the race. It's going to be a great race. I think there was one time, there's one time that's in my head right now. 13:48.8. Don't ask me. You know, Mike, you're never right. Well, I'm right a few times, and that. Hold on. Well, there's a lot of times I've been right, and you never know. You could be wrong. Yeah. Who would win it? May the best man win. Both are great kids, young men. We'll see. We're going to talk more about this as we get closer. But it was a pretty good individual race. Yeah, and so in that 3A boys race at Peoria, you have Tommy Brady coming in, and it was like he was a light year away. But he ran 14:30. That's the so you have Jacobs, you have Kilray, you had Jake Gebhardt, who ran 14:25 earlier in the day. He went out in 4:35. He was smiling he went by the half, saw where I was, he started smiling. And he runs 14:25. Pretty cool. So Brady and Christopher, his teammate Brandon Christopher, what a great race for him. 14:39. Let's get rid of that. The boys 2A race there, it wasn't really a race, it was Gebhardt against the clock. And that's how it's been for these two races for Jacob. I'm going back to the Jacobs Kilray thing. It's been 2 time trials. It hasn't been 2 races. So what happens when those 2 race on November 4th? So we'll talk about that later. So yeah, Gebhardt was going against the clock. He was 17 seconds ahead at 2 miles. Schuckman and Spencer Smith were pushing each other. But he won by about 25 seconds. He pushed that last mile a little bit, even though it was like 5-minute pace. The other guy slowed down a little bit too, but 14:48, 14:50. Gebhardt at 14:25. Wow. And we can talk a little more about Gebhardt next week when we get closer to conferences. Their conference, NIB 12, is tough on the boys' side. Team wise, in 3A, Huntley. 4 runners in the first 25. And that kind of surprised me, but it was close. Mundelein was second with 140. And then you had Downers South, and you had Sandburg, and you had York within about 7-8 points. Lyons Township 6. You put Kilray in there, they get second behind Huntley. Huntley really ran their best race of the year so far. In the boys 2A team competition, Normal U-High looks good. They ran a great race, best race of the year so far, but that's typical for them. They just keep getting better and better. Do they become number 1 in 2A? Time suggests that they may. It's hard to say, but we'll see. In the girls' side, Jenna Schwartz had a 10-second lead on Shanice Garbett of Danville with a mile to go. And it was still about 8 to 9 seconds with a half mile to go. And Garbett, I don't know where she gets that speed at the end, but she just moved that last half mile, caught Schwartz with 200 meters to go. And Jenna said afterwards that she was feeling a little lightheaded. She ran a good race, but Garbett ran just a little bit better at the end. The thing that they're going to have to watch for, especially, is not getting out that slow. She was 15 seconds down on Schwartz at the mile, and if you're looking ahead with Dirks and Saguna, Belvedere North, and Campbell Peterson of Dunlop, and Grace McLaughlin. I don't know what's going on with Grace. Emailed her coach, no reply at all. So you never know. but Garbutt, if she wants a chance to win this individual titles, she's going to have to find a way to start out a little bit quicker, conserve that energy, and then just put herself in striking position the last mile. So, on the girls' side in 3A, I mean, most of the teams were gearing up for Twilight on Wednesday. So you had Edwardsville. Edwardsville looked good. 58-second split on 5. 3 runners in the first 5. Abby Corrick pulled away from Juliana Stogsdill of Plainfield North to win it about 17:30. Not as fast as the 2A race, but we didn't expect it to be. You know, you didn't have, there was a little bit better quality field in the 2A race. Nothing against the 3A race, but so Edwardsville with 44 points. Prospect looked good, 77 points in second. What else? Anyeva Michelin of Edwardsville, Evanston E-School, 1641 at Niles West. On that course, that's pretty good. So she's gearing up. That sectional race at Lake Park against Caitlin Hart. Michelin's improved. We'll see how much Caitlin has improved on Wednesday. That's going to be one of her fast-running course days, so to speak. But Michelin 1641. On the boys' side, Jack McAnobla of the Parker 1455, winning the race by 10 seconds over Connor Perot of Niles North. Wheaton Academy, good race there. Stephen Porton's coming on strong. Was injured starting out the year. You know, they brought him slowly. 14:53. Brett Hafner of Hinsdale South. What a great race for him. 14:56. He's coming around. He's going to be tough. And he's going to be tough in the next few weeks. What else? Lockport. And that we can segue into Twilight. Nequa ran all of their guys, and Zach Kinney's 15:13 on that course. Pretty good. Clayton Mendez 15:31 from Whitney Young second, but Nequa just ran away with the field, 32 points. Glenbard West didn't run their top team there. Kind of wondering when we'll see them on Wednesday. But Kinney's 15:13, and their split was about 52 seconds, but only a 9-second split on 2 to 5. Yeah, Wheaton North Falcon Classic, the girls flight meet. Olivia Nizelak of Maine South, 1726 at St. James for 2.95, pretty good. It was close. It was a tie, I think, between Lincoln Way Central, York. York wins on the tiebreaker, team-wise. So we get to Twilight. You have Nequa against Downers North. Now, Downers North, are they going to be at full strength? Matt Moravec, they're a stud junior, injured, misses the last few weeks. Don't know if he's going to run or not. It's kind of doubtful from what I've heard. But they're still, Downers North, this is going to be the first time that they've run a team race healthy. So how does their pack gear up against Nequa Valley's pack? Be interesting to see. And fun to see Downers North at full strength. You have Downers Grove South. You have Hinsdale Central, who has a great pack. Downers South looked rusty at Peoria on Saturday, but they had 3 runners between 16 and 20. They weren't as far up as Coach Brian Caldwell wanted. They could be pushing a little bit more. And the 4th runner was a little bit closer to their pack, so keep an eye on that. You have Yorkville, who ran great at Griac. And Kinney's going to be the favorite on the boys' side. Maybe he's getting pushed by Downers North guys. Josh Rogers from Geneva ran a good race at St. Charles North, running 15:11 to win that race over Wheaton Warrenville South, running their who ran 2:34, won that meet pretty easily. Girls, Twilight, jeez. Roland Hopkins from Illinois Speed Ratings is going to put a projection for the meet using the speed ratings so far this year. So it'll be interesting to see. But it's, I mean, 6 of the top 7 teams, I think there are 9 of the 12 schools that are there are ranked. So you could get 8th place you're ranked 9th or 10th in the state, and you get 8th. That's how tough. This is a pre-state meet. You have Naperville North, who look great at GRIAC. Have their 3 runners up front. Is their 4th and 5th going to be a little bit closer? You have Hinsdale Central, who look pretty good. At St. Charles North, their 4th, 5th runners, same thing. They need to get their top runners a little more towards the front. You have Yorkville. Now, Emily Eberhardt, if she's healthy, they have a strong first 4 that can challenge Naperville North's 3. Or just, they'll pack them in right behind there, and then getting their 5th runner a little bit closer. They're going to be tough. Downers Grove South, they have Brenna Cahoon, and then they have a nice pack behind them. Great tight 2 to 5 pack. Wheaton Warrenville South, don't forget them. Glenbard West, yeah, they have Hoey and Hart and Payne, and their 4th runner was a little bit closer at Richard Springs, but Richard Spring 2 weeks ago. And it just goes on. It's just so, oh my gosh, it's loaded. So it's worth taking Wednesday off. Cubs aren't playing. Well, if I was going to say the Bears are playing, I'd go anyway. They stink. But make the trip out there. About 7:30, 8 o'clock, the races go off. 7:30, I don't know, for the girls or the boys. 8 o'clock for the last race of the night, varsity race. It's going to be fun. So, I think we've talked about everything else. I had somebody ask me on Facebook on Saturday night while I'm trying to get results up and trying to write a few things down. Why didn't Kilray run? Not his coach. But you can figure out his pattern of running. Common sense. You know, he didn't run. Why didn't he run when the rest of his team ran? You don't need to run hard every race. You don't need to run every race in the year. You can pick and choose, and they have the luxury to do that. Ran a great race at Detweiler. He got his great race in Detweiler. He knows what he can do there. He ran a great race a few weeks, or about over a week ago at Culver. So, conference, he's not going to have to run all out. And then that sectional race against him and Jacobs is going to be good. And then state. And then we talk about Nike regionals. And then we talk about if both of them run foot lap. Now I'm getting way ahead of myself. Let's just get through Twilight first, and then we'll go from there. So, that's it. Hope to see everybody out in Naperville. Good meets this weekend. West Aurora Stampede, you have Metamora, you have Sterling, you have Wheeling. Those are the big 4. Next weekend, as most of the teams rest up, start gearing up for the state series, starting with conference meets. I'm tired. Forget it. So until the next time that we talk, have a great week. This is Mike Newman for Monday Morning Finish Line. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.